Metro Vancouver's banking program. This ancient woody debris, probably there for hundreds of years, stripped clean. And that's not to say that I don't think that marshlands aren't important, but marshlands, in my view, are just one of a mosaic of habitats. And woody debris is part of that mosaic. And so seeing that this is, and we've talked to the consultants, consultants can't provide a real rational answer for why this material is being taken away. They said, well, somebody said it was bad, so we're going to go with it. Hardening of banks, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you get ports being developed. You end up getting large vessels. Some of the waves from the wash of the vessels is very high. If you get these big waves pounding against the banks, eventually you're going to get collapses. When you put large riprap, rock, concrete, whatever else, you're going to disrupt natural fluvial processes. Some of the conclusions, part of the way to deal with it is if you really love your water, your streams, the Fraser River, get involved, speak up, vote appropriately, rattle a few chains, a few politicians. Maybe you'll get some resonance there. Support the stewardship groups. The fact that there's a lot of people out here today is really heartwarming. There are people that care.
Why is the port seemingly oblivious to public input? There's a very simple answer to that, actually. They created it as a crown corporation, or something very similar.
I'm going to tell you about a rogue port this afternoon. To give you an example, we raised issues, particularly with regard to the birds flying into the wires out there, because the consultant had misinterpreted data that other researchers had collected. What happened was the port then redid the study, not released to the public to review. So we've had lots of issues down there on Roberts Bank, and of course the very latest is this Delta Port Terminal Road and Rail Improvement Project. I spent a lot of time writing some 10 pages of information, 30 questions. It was not even acknowledged that they received it. First off, this is 5-star B&B for all these little birds that migrate along the Pacific climate. And because of that, it is known as a globally significant important bird area. Out of some 600 sites in Canada, it is #1. The wetland of international significance. This is a very sore point. This was declared just because of the numbers of shorebirds, waterfowl that use this area. It was declared a Ramsar site 2012, but not Roberts Bank. Front and centre of this Fraser River estuary, Roberts Bank was excluded, and I'm pretty sure that's the port's doing for the moment. It's also a hemispheric site because of its value to shorebirds, designated as such in 2004. It's the best wintering area for shorebirds, waterfowl, birds of prey, which of course includes the falcons, hawks and owls, and the songbirds. And it's been recognized over the years with one designation as a National Wildlife Area, 1972, that's the Alaxon, and since then 4 other wildlife management areas. But one of those very held up for 15 years, even though they had a management plan for Roberts Bank. That was not declared until the very last date there that you see, 2011. This is, folks, one of the most important wildlife sites on this world. Well, I was just showing the hole. I was just showing the hole on Roberts Bank. It's just farcical in a marine ecosystem with the tide going in and out. If you do something in this port-held areas, it's going to affect the whole thing. You can't just sort of put a little island in there and have that surrounding it. So I'll finish with an artist's few comments. Let us leave a splendid legacy for our children. Let us turn to them and say, this you inherit. Guard it well, for it is far more precious than money, and once destroyed, nature's beauty cannot be repurchased at any price. That was the great American photographer
Ansel.